Welcome to Star Sign Horoscopes, presented by Astrology Hub. This is your place to discover how each zodiac sign can work with this week's astrology. I am your host, Jamie Magee, an astrologer, author, and a member of the production team here at Astrology Hub, and I am really excited to dive into this week's astrology with you. Hey guys, welcome to Star Sign Horoscopes. I am your astrologer, Jamie Magee, and today we are going to be taking a look at the astrology for June 3rd through the 9th. I do hope you guys are having a great week out there. Thank you so much for tuning in. It definitely means a lot to me. Okay, so let's talk about the week ahead. Now, we do not have a lot of transits this week, but I do feel like these are always the weeks that sort of sneak up on us or catch us a little bit off guard. It's kind of like that phase right after a big party or a big event or the end of the season. When you're in that cleanup stage, packing up, looking back so you can look ahead, it's where our emotions, our revelations, our ideas, our lessons all kind of collide in at once. And we find that we either have to take the information that we have now and go back and revise something, or take the information we have now and run forward. If not, do both of those things at the same time. So depending on how your party went, this week could feel mild or tense or a little bit of both, depending on what day. All right, so let's talk about why. All right, so this week we have Mercury, who is going to move forward. He's going to station direct. Now, anytime Mercury goes backwards or forwards, to me, it always reminds me of a train shifting tracks. It's a little bumpy, it's a little chaotic, but once you start flowing, everything, unfolds the way it should. We just have to get through that bumpy little bit of communication or that little bit of a chaotic feeling as it moves direction. So kind of be on the lookout for that. And this week we also have Saturn, the time master, stationing retrograde, which is the opposite of what Mercury is going to do. So we have forward motion and now we have retrograde motion. Now, Saturn is going to ask you to pause and reflect and think back on actions that you've taken around a particular story that you began in February. He wants you to fortify these things. He wants you to make sure that they are timeless, that they're going to support you in the short term and the long term. Now, this story is something that you're going to work on until October. That's when you're going to be ready to relaunch it. So the urgency is not there, but what could feel frustrating is it's almost like a stall, like everything seems to stop around this story. But knowing that it's stalling so you can go back and revise it and benefit yourself in the long run should be helpful. So I want you to keep that in mind if anything feels like the brakes are hit and you can't go forward anymore. The question is, how can you go forward in the coming months? How can you make yourself stronger to do that? Now, this week, we also have the quarter moon. Now, the quarter moon is that space between the new moon, where we set intentions, and the full moon, where we start to see the blossoms and the blooms of the intentions that we set. Now, the quarter moon always reminds us of why we wanted to set those intentions and those goals, the goals that we set with the new moon. Now, sometimes this can come with tension, like, you know what? This is why I'm doing this. I can't handle it anymore. This needs to change so everyone feels more comfortable. Sometimes it can come with motivation or inspiration. Either way, the reminder is there for you to pick up those goals and run with them. You don't want them to deflate. You don't want them to disappear. You want to take action when you see the opportunity to work with them this week. All right, guys, with that being said, let's get ready to dive into the signs and talk about how you can work with this energy. Now, please remember to listen to both your sun sign and your rising sign to get a better overall view of how you can work with it. All right, guys, let's get started. Okay, Gemini, let's take a look at your week. Now, Gemini, your top 3 focuses for this week are going to be 1, pausing and planning how you can restructure some plans that you made at the beginning of the year around communicating to a broader audience. There's some restructuring that needs to be done there. 2, gearing up to move forward on projects or things that you've kept behind the scenes or undercover, kind of private. And 3, working through some tensions or obstacles around goals that were set last week that are really kind of hitting close to home for you. So let's talk about why. Okay, so you have a lot of growth and drive around your dreams currently right now. And because you do, you may feel that it's time to go back and revise plans now that you have new opportunities. Like you made plans at the beginning of the year with the boundaries you had then. Now your boundaries have expanded. So there's definitely an opportunity to reach more people, and you want to consider how you can do that. Now, this pause that you're working with is going to definitely help you get to that larger audience. You just have to work with it in a very optimistic way and not feel frustrated if you're having to go back and relearn something or like figure out how you can share something in a different way. By October, you're definitely going to be ready to move forward in a really, really big and broad way. Okay, so speaking of revisions, you've had a lot of back and forth energy with something, a project, it could be a person, place, or thing behind the scenes. Now, this week, you're going to feel like, okay, I am ready to move forward with this and or find opportunities to where you can start to integrate whatever you've been doing behind the scenes. Because there's been some lessons, there's been some reasons that you've held back and redone some things. This week, you're ready to say, okay, well, I have the missing piece. Let's process it. Let's get everything ready to go so I can share it very shortly with the world. Now, last week, you also set intentions around your overall vitality, your sense of purpose, those partnerships, that home-work-life balance. And even though you have this behind the scenes ideas and actions going on, this week, you're definitely going to be motivated to take action on these goals. Now, because this is happening in such an out loud public area of your life, those challenges could be a little bit more present or a little bit more motivated for you. I think that this push that you're going to be feeling this week is definitely going to be coming from somewhere close to home. There could be some tension at home that's saying, you know what, I need to reprioritize some things so I can be sure that I feel really secure in who I am, who I'm partnering with, and how I'm known in the world overall. Now, Gemini, I think that there's a lot of positive energy that's going to help you make the right choices this week. But there's also going to be a little bit of compromise. So keep that in mind. It's not going to be like, you know what, this is my goal and everyone needs to get in line and follow it. There's going to be a little bit of give and take, but as long as you're willing to do that, and I think that you are, you're going to have a good week. And I do look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Cancer, let's take a look at your week. Now, Cancer, your top 3 focuses for this week are going to be 1, revising structures around loans or shared resources, or even transitions that began back in February. 2, moving forward with a plan around your dream that's with a group of people or friends that you're close to. 3, adjusting and working toward intentions that you sat with the last new moon around finding a healthy balance in your daily routines and your rituals or even your habits. Now, let's talk about why these are your top 3. So since February, you've come a really long way with transitions around shared resources and loans. And now you've reached a point where you just cannot go any further until you find some more support around this. Now, this could mean that you have to revise agreements or loans or processes that you've taken in this very transitional phase of your life. But I think this is going to be optimistic. It does have to do with wealth. It does have to do with what supports you. So definitely take your time with it. By the end of October, you will have more clarity and stability and be in a place where you can really move forward with whatever this may be in this area of your life. Now, last week, you set really clear intentions about things that you wanted to change so you could have a better rhythm in your day-to-day routines. This week, you're going to feel compelled to start communicating the changes that you need to make in a way that's very clean and organized. You're going to have like, okay, this is what I need to say. This is how I'm going to say it. And I'm going to make sure that everyone understands this transition, especially me, myself, and I. Now, it could be that, you know, some of your friends or something around your dream that you're holding gives you a burst of unexpected strategy about how to do this. No matter how you find this determination, I definitely think that it's a good idea for you to lean into the power of your voice. And I think when you do that, you're going to find the solutions that are going to serve you both within and without and everyone around you. Okay. I do hope you have a good week, Cancer. I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Leo, let's take a look at your week. Now, Leo, your top 3 focuses for this week are going to be 1, pausing and preparing to revisit or restructure one-on-one partnerships or contracts that you have right now. 2, moving forward with communications or plans around your reputation and your dreams, and definitely those who are there to support them. 3, taking action on goals that you set last week around what you're passionate about and how you can use your skills and resources to really support that. Okay, so let's talk about why these are your top 3. Okay, since the beginning of this year, you've been working on finding a lot of solid foundations and structures in your one-to-one contracts or partnerships. And this has definitely impacted your home work-life balance and that overall vitality. Like, how do I really feel about this? Am I able to express myself as uniquely as I want to in this partnership? Now, right now, it's best for you to kind of stop and review everything that you've accomplished to ensure that you're fully supported and this partnership is also fully supported. So that could be frustrating because it's two people, it's a lot of back and forth energy, and you're only half of the puzzle. But I think if you take this time and really work with this pause, by the fall, you're going to be ready to move forward stronger than ever, despite any tension that arises right now. Okay, so this week you should also feel the inspiration or have breakthrough ideas that will help you integrate a lot of revisions that you have around your career, your reputation, just how people know you overall. So this could counteract some of that tension in your partnerships, most definitely. To help push these ideas, you may have to use some of your resources, that self-esteem, or even some actual like money or skills to help move these goals that you have forward. But I do think that if you do that, if you definitely invest in yourself, you're going to find that this is going to help support things that you love unconditionally, something that you're really passionate about. It can be a love affair, creative events, an entrepreneurship, children, all kinds of things that you love unconditionally. I think at the very least, Leo, as you invest and you work with this energies, you're going to see why it is so important for you to make the changes that you're working on now, and that's going to bring a lot of inspiration and creativity about how to work with this energy. All right. I do hope you have a good week, Leo. I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Virgo, let's take a look at your week. Now, Virgo, your top three this week are going to be one, revising structures around your daily routines, your habits, your health, possibly your work, what you do every day. Two, moving forward with plans around learning or sharing knowledge. And three, acting on intentions set around your career, your home work life balance, and definitely how they impact your one-to-one relationships overall. All right, so let's talk about why these are your top three, Virgo. In February, you began laying out structures and foundations around your habits, your work, your health, and your routines overall. Now, you've gone as far as you can with this plan. And so now there's a pause. There's an invitation for you to reflect and put in place sustainable structures so you can continue to grow in new directions. Now, speaking of growing in new directions, you are now ready to move forward with plans that you've had around learning something, teaching something, publishing something, just chasing a new horizon. And honestly, even though you still have a couple of things to work out here, this could be influencing that pause that you're ready to take in your day-to-day routines. You're going to have to pause and reflect. So, because you're not really sure what that new horizon looks like as you get there. Now, I do think that overall, you could have like some breakthrough ideas, out of the box strategies that can help support the changes that you're trying to make overall in that home work life balance and partnerships. So definitely, I want you to look for those. And I think, with this kind of week, you really want to make sure that you're making the most of your future by supporting and learning from the past decisions that you've made. You're really good at like that transitional phase between what was and what is. So if you see something again, if you're like, you know what, this reminds me of when I went through this, I definitely encourage you to reflect on that because there's going to be an answer there that's going to help you move forward. All right. I do hope you have a great week, Virgo. I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Libra, let's take a look at your week. Now, Libra, your top three focuses this week are going to be one, revising the structures and support systems that you have in place around things that you have a really deep passion for, and planning for ways that you can further support and protect this area of your life. So, big number one. Now, number two, moving forward with plans that you have around shared resources, loans, and transitions. Number three, reflecting or working behind the scenes to put into actions, intentions, or goals that you have around communication. All right, so let's talk about why these are your top three. All right, so you've gone through a lot of transitions and changes around things that you deeply, deeply care about. Now, you've reached a point where you want to go back and learn from the lessons that have unfolded to ensure that you can further support and protect this area of your life. You've been working on a lot of revisions that have to do with tying up loose ends and moving through a transitional phase between what was and what will be. Now, this transitional phase could be around money, it could be around shared resources, or something personal that you're trying to release or overcome so you can grow into a new story, a new relationship, or like a new life overall. Now, this week, as Mercury shifts out of retrograde, you're going to feel a sense of forward motion. You're going to feel like, okay, there is still some more actions. There may still be something else I need to take here or something else I need to revise, but overall, I really feel like I'm ready to move forward with this story. I've done what I need to do to start taking action here. Now, with last week's new moon, you set intentions around sharing your knowledge locally and with larger audiences, kind of taking that wisdom from one form to another and sharing it in a broad new way. Now, this week, because you have something that you want to communicate and you're trying to communicate it on a really big level, you may need to spend some more time behind the scenes, reflecting, preparing whatever this is that you're trying to share. So I definitely think it's a good idea if you have the space and the time to spend more time to yourself or are working on whatever this project is. I would definitely take that invitation because it's going to support you. It's going to support all this forward motion, not only processing the transitions you're trying to take, but the message that you're trying to share as you step into this new story. All right. I do hope you have a good week, Libra. Okay, Scorpio, let's take a look at your week. Now, Scorpio, your top 3 focuses for this week are going to be 1, pausing to review structures and foundations that you can rely on around your home, around your roots, and how they impact your partnerships and that overall sense of purpose, career, and reputation. Number 2, moving forward with partnerships, alliances, or contracts that you have been trying to revise and ensure that both sides are well supported with in whatever the agreement is. Number 3, reaching out to contacts and friends to help support the goals that you have around shared resources or investments and how they can definitely support the partnerships and your overall independence, wealth, and skills. All right, let's talk about why these are your top 3. So since February of this year, you've been working on building structures and foundations around your home and around your roots, which has impacted, your partnerships and your home and your work-life balance and your overall vitality. At this point in the year, it's time to reflect on what is working so that you know how to build forward and further secure this very pivotal area of your life. We definitely want to make sure we have a lot of strong foundations at our foundation. So at the same time, you're also ready to move forward with some of the contracts or the conversations that you've been having with one-on-one partnerships and how they impact your home work-life balance and your overall vitality. So you have a pause around your roots, like how can we fortify this, but your partnerships are ready to move forward. And it could be that because these partnerships are ready to move forward, you have to kind of rethink about how can I support myself in my home work-life balance? Now, you may still have a few more actions that you need to take before you get really clear, but I do feel like you are going to feel like you're moving in the right direction now, which is a very positive and optimistic kind of sensation that I want you to kind of hold on to. Now, it's possible that a partner could surprise you this week or perhaps help you see a new approach to a strategy that you've been trying to work out. Like look for that breakthrough. Wow, didn't think about that until now. Thank you so much for that inspiration. Look for that kind of energy. Now, with last week's new moon, you set intentions around sharing resources and transformation, building toward a blossom that really is going to impact your individual wealth, your sense of self-esteem, and your overall skills. Now, this week, it's going to be a great time for you to lean into friends or contacts or a group of people that can really help support you or give you advice on the investments that you're trying to make and the transitions that you're going through. So you kind of feel that, emboldening like that your friends are going to be able to build up your self-esteem or maybe give you some advice on how you can really hone in on your skills and bring out that individuality that you're trying to work on with this energy. Overall, I do hope you have a great week, Scorpio, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Sagittarius, let's take a look at your week. Now, Sagittarius, your top 3 focuses for this week are going to be 1, restructuring how you communicate and who you communicate with so your voice can be heard by a larger audience.
2, moving forward with new daily routines or a ritual that is supporting the rhythm that you would like to maintain in your life. 3, using your established reputation or a trusted authority figure to help you reach the goals that you set last week around both partnerships and your individuality inside of these partnerships. Now, let's talk about why these are your big 3. As the year began, Sagittarius, you started to communicate in a timeless way. You've learned a lot in the last couple of months, but now the invitation is for you to go back and build on those lessons that you have so that your voice can become even more powerful, even more clear, and reach even more people. And though it may feel like you are stalled or unable to be heard the way that you want to as this is unfolding, it's actually a gift that's going to help you find like a missing treasure or a missing tool that you've kind of left in the past. So in reflection, you're going to find this and be even more powerful and reach a larger audience. Now, you've also had a lot of focus around your daily routines, around your health, around your work. Now, this week, you're going to feel like all of the decisions and the revisions that you've made in this area of your life are working, or at least you feel like they're going to work and you're ready to start moving forward. Now, you could still feel like you have to adjust some things or that you need to like make a couple of phone calls or a couple of connections, try a few more things in general to make sure the rhythm stays smooth. But I feel like you're going to be feeling optimistic about this. And when we feel optimistic on a daily rhythm, that definitely impacts everything. So I'm really excited about this for you. Now, last week's new moon, with that new moon, I encourage you to set a lot of intentions around partnerships and how your individuality could show up within these partnerships, because the full moon is going to be in your sign. So you're going to feel blossom, Sagittarius. Now, this week, I want to encourage you or let you know that you're going to find some support from either your own reputation or authority figure, someone around your career that could really help you with these intentions that you've set with your partnerships. So if there is someone that you can call on, a phone call that you can make, or if there's just the reputation that you've already built that can help influence the partnerships and your individuality, this is a great week to use those, make those phone calls. And I think you may find some breakthrough out of the box ideas to help you make these moves that you're trying to make. And I just want to also encourage you, because this is such a bold, powerful energy, and how you communicate with these partnerships, how you communicate in general, just always to speak with humble grace, because that's going to be easier for people to receive. And it's definitely going to want them to help you. And it's going to help you find a way to reach that audience that you're trying to reach as you work towards those goals as well. All right. I do hope you have a good week, Sagittarius. I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Capricorn, let's take a look at your week. Now, Capricorn, your top 3 focuses for this week are going to be: 1, revising plans or actions that you've taken around your resources, your earning power, skill sets, or even your self-esteem. 2, moving forward with plans around something that you love unconditionally or that you have created. 3, working with mentors to help you find a healthier rhythm and balance in your day-to-day routines or around your work and your health. Now, let's talk about why these are your top 3, Capricorn. So as the year began, you sat down and created goals around your earning power, your skill set, and your self-esteem. Now, you've had a lot of great strides towards this goal, but now you need to stop and to reflect and go back and restructure some of the growth that you've had, or rework something so you can have even more abundance and growth in this area of your life. Now, over the last couple of weeks, you've had some back and forth decisions or revisions or information around things that you love. This could have been around your children, your lover, your business, something that you've created. But I do feel like even though you don't have the whole story or all the pieces, or you're completely clear, you're going to be ready to start moving forward with this passion that you have here, which could be influencing why you want to restructure or fortify your resources and your skill sets, because you're ready to move forward here. It's kind of working hand in hand. Now, with the new moon last week, I advise you to set some intentions around your daily routines, around your health, how you could find harmony and balance in what you do every day, because that's definitely important. It influences everything. Now, this week, it would be a good idea to lean on any mentors or past teachings that you've had to bring in more rhythm. There could be someone that you used to work with or someone that you know that taught you or inspired you in the past. And if you reflect or give them a call, they could help you find this pace, this harmony that you want to bring in to what you do every day or around your work. Now, I do think that you're going to find a lot of, inspiration, possibly, maybe even some breakthrough ideas that come in from behind the scenes, like maybe in that reflective space or something. A strategy that comes from a direction that you did not expect could pop up this week. So kind of look for those out of the box ideas as you're working with these transitions around your wealth, around things that you love, and how you can find that rhythm in your day-to-day life. All right. I do hope you have a good week. I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Aquarius, let's talk about your week. Now, Aquarius, your top 3 for this week are going to be 1, pausing and revising something around your overall vitality or your identity and how it impacts your home and work-life balance, and definitely your partnerships too. Now, number 2, focus is going to be moving forward with any plans that you have around your home or your roots, your foundation. And number 3, working with shared resources or finances to help you impact the needed changes that are really kind of happening in every corner of your life. Now, let's talk about why. Okay, so Aquarius, this year, you're in the middle of a transformational phase that's really helping you see what is important to you and why it is important to you. You've made a lot of great strides forward around how you approach the world, how you kind of step out, and you've learned a lot. But at this point in the year, it's time to pause, to go back and reflect on what you've learned so you can further support your overall growth. Now, what's interesting about your week is that even though you have this overall theme that's asking you to pause, there still is forward motion happening for you. You'll notice this around decisions that you've made that have to do with your home and your roots and how it impacts your partnerships and your overall reputation. So there could be a little bit of tension that you feel in this area of your life, especially around resources or loans, our partnerships. But this tension that you're feeling this week is to remind you of why you set these intentions, why you set the goals last week around things that you love unconditionally and how you want to see them grow. So it's almost as if you have to, pause and look at the big picture so you can make the changes that you need to make around your home. And this is going to overall impact shared resources and loans and partnerships. I definitely want to encourage you, Aquarius, to lean into the change that you want to make, even if it means looking in the past for the answers that you need. Because, sometimes we're always looking forward. We're like, what, that didn't work. The solution has to be somewhere over there. I do think you're probably holding the answer, and it's going to come from an unexpected kind of breakthrough way. You're just going to have to look for it this week. And I think that idea is probably going to come from someone or something that is really close to home or really close to what makes you feel nurtured and secure. So definitely look for it there. All right. I do hope you have a good week, Aquarius. I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, Pisces, let's take a look at your week. Now, Pisces, your top 3 focuses for this week are going to be 1, behind the scenes revisioning and restructuring projects that you began working on at the beginning of this year. 2, moving forward with new clarity around how you want to communicate with people in your local environment. And 3, working with your partnerships one-to-one to implement intentions that you set around your home and work-life balance last week. Now, let's talk about why these are your 3 focuses for the week. Now, Pisces, you've made a lot of progress with something that you've kept behind the scenes that not a lot of people know about. You began it around February, but you've reached a point where you can go no further with it. This is a time where you want to rebuild it, restructure it, maybe even just from the ground up. But I also think that this, whatever it is, this is the last pause before you get ready to share it with the world in a bold new way once Saturn goes forward. Now, Saturn will go forward at the end of October. A few months after that, you're going to be ready to share this with a lot of people. So I think that this restructuring, even though it could feel like a stall, is definitely a blessing. And I want you to see it that way. All right. So when it comes to communication, though you're still kind of working out how you want to communicate or the rhythm of your day-to-day life, and there could still be a lot of breakthroughs or shifts, you are ready to move forward with some recent revisions that you've had. You have more clarity about how you want to say what you want to say, who you want to communicate, and how you want to communicate with them. Now, it could feel a little bit rocky this week as that train, jumps tracks and you go from reflecting to moving forward. So be cautious with communication this week overall, but I do think you're going to be ready to move forward in that little local rhythm that you have. Now, this week, there could be that a partner you have is going to help you with this communication. They may have a breakthrough inspirational idea or something that you can really use that it's going to help impact your reputation and your home work life balance. So look for strategies that maybe you haven't thought of as you're adjusting and you're moving some things back to the drawing table and moving some things to the forefront so everyone can see them and hear your voice. All right, I do hope you have a good week. I look forward to seeing you next time, Pisces. Okay, Aries, let's take a look at your week. Now, Aries, your top 3 focuses for this week are going to be 1, restructuring and revising something around your dreams or people in your life that support them, possibly a group of friends or an organization. 2, moving forward with plans around your personal wealth, your skills, and your self-esteem. And 3, finding new ways to reach goals that you set around communication last week from something or someone in your daily environment. Now let's talk about why these are your big 3, Aries. Okay. So since the beginning of this year, you may have noticed that you have either lost or gained friends that supported the cause that you are striving for. Or it may be, Aries, that you have cut people out of your life that could support you now, or that there are still people that you need to remove from your life so you can further chase your dreams. It could really go either way or both ways, depending on your story. Now, what you're going to feel this week is a bit of a quietness that comes over this area of your life, that kind of comes over this social stance that you have. And what it's going to do is it's going to allow you to contemplate who needs to be in your life or what your dream is and how you can support it. Now, this is going to slowly unfold. You're going to work on these revisions until October. But by the time October comes, you're going to be ready to move forward with the right people to support the dream that you have or the cause that you're really trying to support. Now, this week, there may be something in your day-to-day routines that's either going to support the changes that you're trying to make, or they're going to remind you of why it's important that you make these changes that you're trying to make now. So I definitely encourage you to look for reasons and ways to grow through these transitions, and you will find a way to make the most of both the growth of the new stories and that sense of separation or that reflection that's asking you to end older stories so you can move forward. I also think that you may have a breakthrough in how you earn your personal wealth or a new strategy that surfaces this week around your skills or your self-esteem. You've had a little bit of back and forth energy around this energy. Look for something out of the box. Look for some inspiration because it's definitely going to be there this week. You just have to look for it. All right. Have a good week, Aries. I look forward to seeing you next time. Hey, Taurus, let's take a look at your week. Now, Taurus, your top 3 focuses for this week are going to be 1, pausing actions around your career so you can revise and be ready to relaunch in October of this year. 2, moving forward with communication around your image and how you want to approach the world overall. 3, taking action around things that you love unconditionally that also supports your goals around your individual earning power and your collective earning power. Now, let's talk about why these are your 3. Now, Taurus, at the beginning of this year, you made a lot of great shifts around your career and your reputation, and it's definitely impacted your overall, your partnerships, your home work-life balance. There could have been some unexpected shifts or breakthroughs. But this week, you're definitely going to feel a pause in this area of your life. And, because it has so much to do with your reputation or your career, it could feel like every part of your life is almost all going silent or pausing or stalling out at the same time. But the invitation here, what it's telling you is that you've come as far as you can come in this direction. And in order to grow forward, you're going to have to take a little bit of a pause and go back and reflect, build some foundations, build some structures around what you have grown so you can move forward. In other words, you're going to have to learn from the past before you can benefit your future. Now, at the same time, on the other hand, so this could feel a little bit conflicting to you, you're also ready to move forward with, a new way to approach the world as an individual, the way that you step out, the way that people know you. This is not exactly the same as your reputation or how people know you. This is more so the face that we meet when we meet you. It's your vitality, it's your body. There's some back and forth revisions that you've made in this area, but now you're ready to step out in a new way. And honestly, this could be influencing why you want to pause or restructure how people know you, who you partner with, and how it has a balance of that home and work life, where your attention goes. It's almost like you have this new image. How is it going to impact your reputation, and how can you work with these two energies together to grow forward? Now, I think this week you could feel a little bit of tension around things that you love unconditionally, things that you're passionate about. It could be that this back and forth energy that's really, about you and your individuality is making you think about things that you love unconditionally and how you can make the changes, why you're making these changes, not only for you, but things that you love that deeply and you feel that passionately about. And if I think, Taurus, if you focus on these passions, these things that you love unconditionally, it's definitely going to help you put into place the intentions that you had this week and help remind you of the reasons why you set the goals around, not only your shared resources, but your individual resources, what you want to bring to the table, how you can support individuality, things that you love unconditionally. That's going to definitely impact your overall career and reputation as you get ready to relaunch it in a couple of months. All right, Taurus, I do hope you have a good week. I look forward to seeing you next time. Okay, guys, that is everyone. I do hope you have a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I do want to just give a little note here. We did have a little bit of report maintenance that we did last week. So if you tried to get your sun, moon, and rising report and it didn't come, I definitely want to encourage you to go ahead and go back to astrologyhub.com/sun, moon, and rising and pick up your free report. And I think you're going to love it. And if you already have it, please let me know what you think of it or what your sun, moon, and rising is. All right, guys, have a great week. I'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Astrology Hub Star Sign Horoscopes. If you'd like to easily jump to your personal horoscope, sign up to get a timestamped star sign episode emailed to you each Friday. Go to astrologyhub.com/star signs and sign up now. That's astrologyhub.com/